Everyone take a deep breath. Want to do another one? Okay, let's get into it. Hello, my name's Grace. Welcome to my channel. This is Grace in Space, where I believe everyone is creative and everyone is way too hard on themselves. Now, this is going to be kind of a mishmash video. We went out of town 3 weekends in a row. That, coupled with how the election results make me feel, this feels like a good week to kind of lay low, do a little house care, do a little self-care, just sort of tending, nourishing, if you will, and I'm getting ready for whatever may come. We've got some fun cooking. Maybe you find it helpful. Maybe you just want to see someone cook so you can zone out to it and think about happy thoughts, kittens and rainbows and all that stuff. I'll also show you what I've been focusing on to keep the dread away. Fun clay stuff, fun cowboy hats. That's what we're in for. Thanks for tuning in. Hello from the past. Welcome to my kitchen of forgotten things. If you aren't aware, you can stick candles in the freezer when they're getting low and then use a butter knife to help release the wax from the vessel. Then you can, use the leftover wax, use the candle holder, or just be able to actually recycle those candles, which we love for the environment. Now that we've got that out of the way, we have our veggies. Cabbage is great if you buy things and forget about it because it tends to last a while. I'm chopping up onions and carrots as well so I can make these veggie pancakes I found on Pinterest from Chloe Vegan. It seems like you can use a variety of veggies for the recipe, so it felt like a good way to clean out the fridge. While I was chopping up those veggies, I remembered we have some potatoes that started to sprout, so I chopped up the ones that haven't sprouted, threw them in a pot of water to boil, and I'll make mashed potatoes out of them. Then we take a chip break to celebrate what we've done thus far. Nice. Also in the kitchen of forgotten things was this bag of pears that I blended up with oats, yogurt, cinnamon, and a couple of eggs to make pancake bites in muffin cups that ended up tasting like French toast bites. Go figure. After I did all of that cooking, I still had things that I wanted to buy. I realized recently that our favorite Asian market has an entire aisle of dried mushrooms. So instead of going to get more of the Costco brand stuff, I wanted to support our Asian market and get into what else they have. I was going to show some of that off. I got a few different kinds of dried mushrooms, got a big bag of these guys, and then also got some of these. If you soak them in hot water, you can have hydrated mushrooms then that you can throw into whatever you want. But oftentimes I'll use the liquid that we soak the mushrooms in to be like a stock or the base of a soup or a sauce or whatever. It could be the base of a gravy if you really wanted to. So we like these because we really like mushrooms in this house, but it's much more shelf stable. I'm a sucker for any kind of noodle or pasta, any kind of dried thing. So we got some egg noodles. There's something about these little clusters of dried noodles that just get me. They make me so happy. And we got some Japanese style noodles, which we'll probably use for ramen. All my husband requested was sauces, more sauce ingredients. So we got a re-up on our bulldog sauce, some balulek. I totally just tried to pronounce that with a French accent. Also a sucker for some furikake, so I got the salmon flavor to try it out. And then I've always wanted to have mirin in the house. I feel like anytime I've tried to look for it at other grocery stores, I can't find it. Don't specifically have something to use this in yet. I'm just excited to have mirin in the house now. We got a huge canister of chicken bouillon so that we can add it to ramen. Anything we want. Fried rice maybe. We'll see. I also got some scallion pancakes. I know I just made another kind of pancake, but I really love scallion pancakes. And you can never have too many savory pancakes in your household. That's how I feel. There's probably 100 more things I could have bought at the Asian market. I love it so much. They have everything. They truly do. And just walking in there makes me excited for soup weather and cold weather because they have so many cozy things. So hopefully this will keep us for the winter, maybe even into spring. But if not, catch me at the Asian market. what are we doing now, Grace? That's a great question. I'm still getting used to this. I realize my husband has a very nice gaming microphone that I could be using. You're learning things about me every week. That's fantastic. I've got an Etsy store that has some vintage stuff on it, some thrifted things. It also has some of my own creations, which I'll share with you. I decided to start an Etsy store because I love estate sailing, I love thrifting, and I love finding things that I think people need in their homes. I just think shopping secondhand, thrifting, anything you can do to avoid the big box stores, the online giants. There's something about being able to find something secondhand, find something that's probably better made. So many reasons. It's sustainable. You're not having to ship something in. I think it's well-loved items. It feels very nice to be able to find something that someone probably loved so much and save that from going to a dumpster. I pulled some stuff out from the Etsy store that I really like, that I was really excited to find, and I thought I would show them to you guys. We can start with some candlesticks. I found these at an estate sale that hilariously was bumping Charlie XCX in the basement, and I think I was the only one who realized that. I love the little hand-painted edges. I don't know if you can see that, if the camera will focus. They give me major Lizzie McGuire vibes. I would have begged my mom to buy me this from Limited 2 or Dry Ice. Does that hit with anyone? I think that was the name of a store we had in our mall. Blow up furniture and eyeshadow. I got pink eye from them once because I used the tester eyeshadow, so don't do that. But it was very much like a teen, tween, Limited 2 Delia's sort of vibe. I'm pretty sure it was called Dry Ice. But that's the vibe I get from these. These are so cool. I believe it's hobnail glass. It's like a specialty kind of glass. I have it in my notes. I'll have to go check. Maybe I'll check right now. If you're like, whatever, I see this everywhere. Yeah, we're constantly living that Devil Wears Prada monologue where Meryl Streep is like, you think it's just a color. We're constantly seeing trends that originated decades ago. You're still seeing it pop up in your drinking glasses that you're buying from World Market. Hand-blown, sometimes called dewdrop glass, popular during Victorian times. It would look fantastic on your nightstand or your vanity, somewhere where you want pretty things. And the sunlight goes through it very well. Very, very pretty. So if you already have a glass collection you want to add to, this would be very nice for it. I recommend. My husband and I went to Indiana, long story. In the Airbnb neighborhood, we happened upon a garage sale. The garage sale was put on by this woman she was a professor, and her husband, now passed, was also a professor, and they collected furniture and stuff like crazy. She had a few things that we were willing to take in our car with us since we road tripped there. And one of them is this set of coasters she had. They're enamel. She said they're from Rome. I have no choice but to believe, but I suppose you could use it as little individual ashtrays. I would use it as a little snack plate, one for your drink, one for your chips. Another thing that I was very pleased to find, this beautiful quilted piece. It's so well made, it blows my mind. And I love the colors, I love the florals, I love the blues and oranges to it. The only thing that I can't decide if I want to do something with it is it's not really in this frame. I think someone framed it and then realized it's too thick and then just duct taped it closed. This is not actually on Etsy yet because I've been trying to decide if I want to reframe it and go with something that's not duct tape. So when I'm not thrifting and finding other people's stuff to put in my Etsy store, I also like making things. Started with some air dry clay back at the beginning of the year and just decided to make some cowboy hats because I thought they were cute. But when I started making these, I also thought it'd be fun to just try to make a cowboy hat based solely on memory. But that was to give it more personality because I think cowboy hats, they've definitely got a traditional way of looking, but I thought it'd be more fun to give it a little bit more personality. And I did purposely make a little indent at the top so you could rest like a pencil. I feel like the other one could be used as an ashtray if you wanted to. Not a very good one because you'd have to turn it over for the opening, but you could rest something on it. So I've got a bunch that are blue. I think they look really pretty. I think it's a really nice color of blue. So I've got those up on Etsy if anyone wants a funny little cowboy hat. When I needed something to do on election night to work through the dread, I started making more cowboy hats that are a bit more like trinket trays. And then I thought about it and I thought these could also be ashtrays if you wanted them to be. We've got this guy that just sits on there like that. Then we have trinket tray 2. This guy's a little bit bigger. I think he has a taller hat. If you can see that. He's got a little lip. I also made a tiny one with the remnants. I don't even know if that's going to show up. A tiny little cowboy hat. I decided to see if I could make a cowboy hat that was also like a dollhouse. Yeah, I don't know. A little bit Polly Pocket-esque. That was my inspiration, was the Polly Pocket houses. I looked it up and I don't think they ever did a Polly Pocket in a cowboy hat, which feels strange to me. So I do want to still paint this guy. And it doesn't sit perfect. You can look at that and go, Grace, that's not really a cowboy hat. So I think I want to put a ribbon around. I feel like I'm on Shark Tank right now. I'm pitching you my Polly Pocket cowboy hat idea. I'm going to put a ribbon so that you can't quite tell when it's closed, so that it doesn't seamlessly line up. The top part has a little heart-shaped bathtub jacuzzi, whatever you want to call it. The bottom part, which will also get painted so you can see it better. We've got a bar with some bar seating. We've got a fire pit, and then we've got a separate little seating area. And I'll probably put this up on Etsy as well, so that someone may have this in their home and experience maybe the world's first cowboy hat dollhouse. But I've got a few more ideas that I want to continue making little rooms inside cowboy hats. If you like anything you saw, feel free to check out my Etsy shop. This is a very shameless plug. Mainly because I'm not talking about it anywhere, so I don't think anyone knows about it. So this is my first chance to tell people I have an Etsy shop. It has vintage stuff on it. Not that much. I want to start building it up. And it also has whimsical little cowboy hats that if you feel like you need, I think you should get it. It is also Grace in Space on Etsy. Grace in Space on YouTube and Etsy. Don't have the Instagram name yet. Please don't take it. I think it actually is already taken. I am Grace, and this has been Grace in Space for this week. I hope you do something that makes you happy. And even if it doesn't make you happy, I hope you do something that brings you comfort. And maybe somewhere along the way, that means cowboy hats and thrifted candlesticks. Or it can mean something completely different for you. But if any of this resonated, let me know. I appreciate anyone who watched this far. And I'll see you next week. Bye.